Hello and welcome to Mickeyology, where we take Disney a little too seriously. I'm Austin Rathel. Today we're examining Raya and the Last Dragon. Raya takes place in Kumandra, 5 mythical lands united by a dragon-shaped river. Although Kumandra is a fictional world, filmmakers based it on the real lands and cultures of Southeast Asia. As screenwriter Qui Nguyen put it, I equate it to how the Arthurian legends were built on dramatic European tales. You can point to something French, something English. So this is our opportunity to create a wholly original story, but have its DNA be from somewhere that's real. Therefore, while Kumandra is a legendary version of Southeast Asia, it still has many elements of real Southeast Asia within it. So if Kumandra did exist in our world, where would it be? And when would its hero, Princess Raya, have lived? Let's examine some clues and find out. To make Raya and the Last Dragon as authentic as possible, Disney consulted experts in the history and cultures of Southeast Asia and sent filmmakers to conduct research of their own in Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. Animators incorporated aspects of these nations into Kumandra. In the book The Art of Raya and the Last Dragon, filmmakers revealed that Kumandra's Dragon River was inspired by the Mekong River, an important waterway that runs from China down through Indochina and into the South China Sea. That means Kumandra would most likely be located around the Mekong. Filmmakers also revealed that Raya's home, the Fortress of Heart, was inspired by 3 real temples, Borobudur in Indonesia, and Angkor Wat and Bayon, both of which are in Cambodia. Since most of the locations that inspired Kumandra's geography are on the Indo-Chinese peninsula, that's where the movie would most likely take place. Filmmakers also revealed when the film takes place. According to The Art of Raya and the Last Dragon, quote, "The time period of the film, set sometime between the 9th and 12th centuries, also heavily influenced design." Now we have a rough idea of both where and when the movie takes place. To narrow it down further, let's take a closer look at the film's geography. Filmmakers made it really easy to understand Kumandra's geography because the movie opens by showing us a map. You won't find any real river in Southeast Asia shaped exactly like a dragon, but if we think of this as a fictionalized version of the Mekong, we can figure out the real-world counterparts for each Kumandran land. For instance, we see that Raya's home, the Land of Heart, is across the river from the mountainous land of Spine. Since Heart was inspired by temples in Cambodia mostly, that would put Heart here. Sure enough, the real Annamite mountain range lies here, across the river from Cambodia. There's actually a real district called Phang up here in Thailand in roughly the same area that the fictional Phang should be. Meanwhile, the dry desert land of Tail would be down here near southern Vietnam, and there are in fact real desert areas down here in the region of Binh Thuan. That leaves Talon, the land of riverside markets. The closest equivalent is probably Vietnam's floating markets, down here in the Mekong Delta. Now, to be clear, the two maps don't perfectly align. Unlike Kumandra, where each land lies directly beside the Dragon River, some of these lands lie far from the Mekong. While most of these places have climates and foliage that roughly resemble those in the movie, they still look pretty different from Kumandra's fantastical landscapes. Still, if you had to pick a real-world equivalent for Kumandra, the Indo-Chinese peninsula is about as good a candidate as you could hope for. Now that we know where the movie takes place, let's see if we can figure out when it takes place. To do that, it's time to look at the film's technology. Now remember that Disney wanted Raya and the Last Dragon to take place between the 9th and 12th centuries. Most of the technology people use in the movie fits that era quite well. For example, Raya wields a sword that resembles a real Indonesian dagger called a kris. The earliest known record of krises comes from the 10th century. The temples of Angkor Wat and Bayon, which inspired the Heart Fortress, weren't constructed until around the 12th century as well. Namari uses aerial fireworks, which weren't invented until the late 12th or early 13th century. All this demonstrates that Raya and the Last Dragon does indeed take place in the time frame that filmmakers intended, but Raya's world resembles the Asia of the 12th century much more than that of the 9th. Based on official statements, geography, and the technology in the film, I'm placing Raya and the Last Dragon in Indochina near the Mekong River in the 12th century. So there you have it. That is my theory for when and where Disney's Raya and the Last Dragon takes place. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of my conclusions and when and where you think the movie takes place. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and consider supporting me on Patreon. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.